please, and watch your step as you're boarding. Once again, folks, 5 is our maximum safety limit for persons per seat with small children to the inside, surrounded by adults to the outside. If you do have a stroller or wheelchair today, we ask that you fold it, please, securing it safely to the floorboard for safety and the comfort.
Let's all get in the same row. That's one right here.
Sit low ahead and watch your step. As you board, please sign over double seats, make room for 5 adults. On double seatless and child number 3. We do ask that all small children please sit the inside of the seats and adults the outside of the seats. If anybody does have any questions,
What's the matter, Sue? Let's get mine. Go ahead and get mine. That's an old Buick. That's an old Buick, darling.
There's some caps in there.
I know I saw him a long time ago. No, it wasn't.
Stories tall, capped off with a set of mounts ears weighing 16 tons. And I know everybody's dying about the hat size, 342 and 3/8. Had a bright red Christmas stocking on the airport tower around the holidays. To your right, you'll see this red car. That's from Hardcastle and McCormick. Parked right behind it, the white one. And then there's a blue one over here behind Cab 415. Those were both used for the Blade Runner. And on the other side of this fire engine, you're going to see the police car from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Next to that, we have the Road Warrior, starring Mel Gibson. The black car with the green rims, that was from The Untouchables with Sean Connery and Kevin Costner. The two blue cars, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Look to your left, you'll see our bungalow building. Now, bungalow, that's nothing but a fancy word for office space. They house a production crew that's currently filming at the studio. Bungalow 1 is the Jim Henson production. He's down here doing a show with the Muppets Visit to Disney World. Bungalow 2 is the Dickle, a small portion of the set. Notice how all these plants are being grown in portable boxes. Now they did that because it's so much easier to transport them back and forth to the different locations. We even have our own cast of characters in the greens department, and we call them topiaries. It takes nearly 10 years to develop some of these, and we have over 160 scattered throughout the Disney properties. Why, Walt Disney World even has their own tree farm with over 60,000 different types of plants, trees, and shrubs. Now let's take a quick look to the left and between these buildings. You're going to see Soundstage 3. That's where they do the filming of the Mickey Mouse Club, and you'll get a behind-the-scenes look at that on part 2 of your backstage tour. From Mary Poppins, and that dress is 26 years old this year. Michael Jackson and Captain EO, and the co-stars of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It all begins with an artist sketch. You can see a few of those over in the far wall. Then they give them to the seamsters and the tailors, and they're the ones that really make the garments. In fact, they use over 175,000 yards of fabric per year. Then you'll see just a few of our gardens. With Walt Disney World having 2.5 million, that makes us the world's largest working wardrobe, and it continues to grow each day. Here in the lighting department, we can provide up to 3.5 million watts of light for film and video production on an office set. Now these sales or garage sales looking for something. We can't find it, we'll build it. And then the camera department. This is where the technicians maintain all this film and video equipment until it is needed on an office set. Last but certainly not least, we have our scenic department. Now this is where the carpenters, they begin construction on a set that they later finish up on a soundstage, and believe me, they're very talented people. They built a 40-foot wooden submarine for rock video, and they built a standing set for the Mickey Mouse Club. What they're working on now, they're working on some sets for the Muppets. Now a standing set, that's a set that gets used over and over and over again. It can be very simple, like just one room, or as elaborate as the entire house. And in just a few moments, you're going to see some rather unusual houses. Christmas lights trim the house, even lay down some man-made snow and made a snowman. But what made it so unique, this was done last July in 95-degree weather. Okay, we do have one resident. I bet everybody knows who he is. Car 53. Everybody say hi to Herbie. It's Herbie the Love Bug. Well, you're making a lot of noise, Herbie. Now, Herbie has decided to park himself in front of Vern's house on the stage of Christmas starship Producers call this one street anywhere USA, because depending on where you place your camera, you're right back home again. Now, we have 7 different... Now, we do the exterior shots here in Florida. The interior shots are done out in Burbank, California on a soundstage, and then they edit them together for the finished show. And right across the street, the house with the station wagon. Now that was used in the TV movie Splash 2. It's a sequence to the movie Splash. Quite a bit different. They're made out of fiberglass and styrofoam. Then they spray them with just 43 film Casablanca. Their front half of the great movie, right? Number 2 helicopter, that's from the movie Blue Thunder. And this wrecked vehicle, well, that was another car in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's the one that Roger drove throughout Toontown looking for his beloved Jessica. And let me put it this way, it was not supposed to be a convertible. Train is from Tough Guys, but my all-time favorite here, we have the Snow Speeder from The Empire Strikes Back. Sand Skiff, Return of the Jedi. And the Sand Skipper, Empire Strikes Back. Now this silver-looking pod, this is from the Flight of the Navigator.
Brian, here's Flight of the Navigator.
And further on down the boneyard, you're going to see another pod. Well, they're awful happy this morning. Hi. This pod has an opening in.
This is the Flight of the Navigator, the spaceship.
Also coming up on the right, you're going to see the trolley car from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's a modified bus. If you look close enough, you'll see the tires behind these wheels. But in the movie, it looked like it was actually on a rail. And then we'll be seeing our mini yacht club. We have 4 boats, but like I said, we do have a spaceship, so that's different than most yacht clubs. Another pod from Flight of the Navigator. And after we get past these boats, look at this first house in Residential Street on the right. Let's take a backstage look at it. See the roof? Notice how the architectural design stops just beyond camera range. Why build the entire house if we're just going to be filming the outside? And as you can well see, there's not any privacy whatsoever on Residential Street. I wouldn't even want to visit there. But what if you need an environment that you can't find nearby? For instance, we have a producer down here doing a movie called Catastrophe Canyon. He needed an active oil field in a rocky, dry, barren canyon prone to earthquakes and flash floods. Of course, we don't in and out because normally we're not allowed in the canyon. Now, the reason why I warned you about getting a little bit wet, because we might get lucky and see the rain sequence. My last few tours, we've got to do that. Do remain seated at all times, very, very important. We're getting ready to drive across a wooden bridge, and it's not used to shuttle traffic. This canyon was designed after a real one out in California. It took them 6 months to build it. That's a long time from one set, but you're going to find out it's well worth the effort. You know, all this equipment was on an oil field out of the state of Texas, and our process department brought it back here to Florida, and they modified it for this film. Like I said, that's a real oil tanker, and it still works, too. The way they got it in here, they had to hoist it over the canyon wall with a large crane. I just hope they remember the parking brake. Okay, now this movie calls for real downpour, and the way they created the rain sequence for this particular set, the shuttle itself, we're parked underneath the ledge. High above the ledge, just right out of camera range, we have these huge, powerful sprinkler systems that they've turned upside down. Now, the reason why they turn it upside down is that when they turn it on, it gives you the swirling effect of real rain. And that's what I'm hoping for. Oh, great, we're going to get to see it. There it goes. Okay. Now, this rain looks like it's covering the entire set, but it's not. It's just a few feet deep. Now, that's movie rain. Uh-oh. Linda, did that truck start up? Not supposed to be doing that. Wait a minute, my car just moved. Is there? Oh, no, they're filming in here, folks, so just remain seated. We're in trouble. But the special effects are quite real. What we're going to do now, we're going to pull out behind the canyon. I'm going to explain how some of these catastrophes were created. As we leave the canyon, first I'd like to direct your attention to the right-hand side after we pass the basketball in one. You could shoot it over the top of the Empire State Building. Pump 1 and 2 recycles this entire set in just 3.5 minutes. Now the earthquake effect, that was created hydraulically. In other words, each one of our shuttle cars on what we call a shaker table, and they do shake individually. And we didn't even have it turned all the way up. If we turned it all the way to full volume, we could throw a small-sized car about the size of Herbie the Love Bug over the railing into the base of the canyon. And then low-frequency sound effects, and of course your screams help add the final touch with a scary illusion. And on the way out, take a look back in there. There's another shuttle. You'll see that sprinkler system I was talking about. They're getting the rain effect, those large silver pipes. And like I said, every 3.5 minutes we do have a complete village. Now take a really good look at our skyscrapers, because they are not buildings, they're painted flats. That's an old movie trick called forced perspective. It makes the buildings look a lot taller than what they really are. You know, the real Empire State Building is over 100 stories tall, and ours just a little over 4 stories. Also look to your right and you're going to see the original Dipmobile for Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This does conclude part 1 of your backstage tour. Now the second part's a guided tour. You pick that up at your convenience. Every 4.5 minutes we have one that leaves. You might like to take a break, walk down to New York.
Okay, we're all gonna get on the same side. Which side are we going to?
Captain, we survived the air attack with no help from you. Oh no, look in the distance. Now we have enemy torpedoes coming in every direction, and they're getting closer and closer. Captain, you're a dead duck. Once again, look up at your monitors and you'll see Captain Stuck's explosive performance in super slow motion. It's a 40-foot backdrop. We have artists on the poses that can come in overnight, paint it to whatever scene we like, whether it be a desert scene, skyscraper, sunset, but storm sequence seems to fit the show as best in this water tank. So we'll keep it as it is. Hi, folks down there. You want to choose any of the 3 aisles to your left. Choose the fastest moving aisle. Come all the way down here to the center of the tank. Use all that available space in front of you so we can fit everybody inside. And Mechanical Marvel, our pilot house. It's a mock-up or a life-size recreation of one that you would find on an actual tugboat. And speaking about life-size, I see that Sam's on a life-size volunteer. Hi, what's your name?
John.
John. It's been really nice knowing you. Need to follow Sam right around there, turn around, and step inside to spin the wheel of misfortune. Once John's get all set up inside, we're going to create the storm sequence using some heavy-duty mechanical effects, but with a smile on his face, I don't think John knows what he got himself into. Let's check up on our skipper. Yo, skipper, you all set there? No, you're not. Need to pull that hood up, pull your hood up, and pull the strings real tight. Trust me. Once our full-size mock-up is rocked, we can simulate movement on the high seas, and I think Sam's really shaking them up there. And to make it more believable, I'll be adding some wind, and Paul will be adding the rain, and you'll be adding the sounds. When I count to 3, I want everyone to yell, dump it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Dump it! And cut. That's a wrap. Right now we're going to take the scene that John just did and edit together with some footage that we shot on this miniature tugboat here, and a similar take like this using the same wind and rain effects. So once again, look up at your monitors and we'll show you how miniature mechanical effects and a very brave skipper, John, can produce a classic high seas adventure. Considering that we just dumped 400 gallons of water over that pilot house, I say that John weathered the storm very well. How about a big round of applause for our skipper? And while John's off to the side drying out, now it's time to say goodbye to the...
Because that's the shrink you get from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Look out, look out. Last week, one of our tour guides was standing right over there, and he got zapped. And now poor Bob has to live in this little house. Look, here's this tour guide costume and everything.
First, let me show you how a blue screen, like the one behind me, allows us to put people and objects in places they're really not. Watch your monitors. Now, by filming in front of a blue screen, we can later make that blue disappear and replace it with any background we choose. This allows Harry Scary Beat. When I yell action, I want you to wave your arms and legs and look really scared. Ready? Cameras ready? Action! Now you can see that our beat is stationary on the floor, but due to our computer control camera that pans, tilts, and zooms, it appears to be flying through the air. Cut, hold on, Andrew, we need to set up for another take. So far so good, except for one small thing. Remember when I told you you were supposed to be scared? You guys are smiling. That's okay, let's change the scene a little bit. Okay, Fred. And cut. That's a wrap. All right. Look at the terror in his face. Now, the original movie was shot and assembled on film, but today we're using video so you can see the results immediately. Have a look at your monitors, and you'll see the scene just as if you were at the movies.
No flash photography is permitted. You're welcome to take pictures or use a video camera as long as there's no flash. Okay, that's it. No more business. I just have one question. Are you folks ready for a good time? Yes! Great, we're on our way.
Philip, the heat's on, see, and your car's mine to get out of here. So you beat it.
Now, we're not leaving these folks here by the...
Hey, Blondie, I said get out of here.
Get out, you blinders!
Go on, beat it now.
Get back to work before they deactivate you. Yes, I'm really good. And hurry up. They'll be needing this transport any moment now.
I'll give you that.